Good morning, IT Nation, and it is morning. I am reporting to you live, 6 a.m. in Pittsburgh, of course, but we're going to be talking about something taking place overseas, IT Nation Europe, which obviously they're around 11 a.m. right now, I believe. I wish it was 11 a.m. right now for me. It'd be really nice because I'd be far better off and wide awake and ready to go. However, thank you all for tuning in, talking to all my peeps over there, over across the pond. We are here to talk today about IT Nation Europe, as I mentioned, and this is really talking about why you shouldn't go to IT Nation Europe, right? Really not that everybody should want to go. And I'm going to be bringing on my guest host in a minute here. So you guys all watching this know, we are going to do total of 7 live streams, maybe throw in some more depending on what comes up from now until the week prior to IT Nation Europe, which takes place in March, right around my birthday, just so you know. So if anybody's going to be there and I end up being there, I do accept gifts. But we're going to go over about 6 more live streams after today, introducing some of our guests, our speakers, talk about the agenda, giving you all the reasons why you should be there, giving you some takeaways. And honestly, I'm excited. But it is going to happen every time we do it at this time of the day. So I will be getting up bright and early for people like Richard Tubb that probably isn't even watching this, even though I did tag him in my LinkedIn post. Anyway, now, without further ado, I do want to bring on a guy that should really need no introduction, but a really good friend of mine, a good friend to the channel, mainly MSPs. He is the director of the IT Nation community in EMEA. He leads global IT initiatives across the UK and Europe, managing IT Nation's involved peer groups, user groups, and conferences. Actually, he has some of the best LinkedIn write-up posts to tell you what you missed. And I constantly have FOMO every time he does it. He has a huge thing going on with trains. He loves trains. And without further ado, I do want to bring him on. Yes, Richard Tubb, thank you for being there. With Dan Scott, there you are. What's up, dude?
Hey, Sean. How you doing? Welcome, everybody. Thank you for taking the time to join us today.
Did I get the introduction accurate, I feel like?
I'm going to be honest with you, mate. I was just hoping that it was coming to an end. I'm like, this is going to keep going. It's going to.
You had 17 more bullets. I was like, I can't talk about. But I bad at skiing, but he enjoys it. He's good at wine.
I am bad at skiing,
but you're good at wine. I think a lot of us. It's hard to not be good at wine.
Yeah, I excel at it more so than the skiing.
I actually, the better I get at wine, the more I excel at skiing.
This is very true. This is
also
very, very true.
It's so true.
Ladies and gentlemen, this time in the morning in Pittsburgh, literally anything could happen. The fact that they've given us the ability to go live on this one is, if you're willing to risk it, we're willing to serve it, as they say in the catering trade. So here we go. Eyes down, look in.
I'm just glad to see Richard Tubb he's probably the only viewer because I can't see the number right now, but thank you,
Mr.
Richard.
Tubb. Good to see you, Rick. Good to see you. Right, Sean, let's get into it.
Good morning, good afternoon, whatever it is, right? All right, Dan. So we're here to talk. I mentioned we're going to do this series here, live streams. Wow, who's drinking? I'm not even drinking. Good job. Top of the morning. So let's get into IT Nation Europe. We have no end time to this live stream, so we can be on this for 3 more hours. But you're currently working, though.
Always.
Yes. Where are you right now?
Right now, I'm at IT Nation Evolve. We have our sales leader and our service leader peer groups. We are in the Lesser Free Trade Hall in Manchester, hence why I said my cryptic LinkedIn post. We've got Mick Jagger and we've got Johnny Marr over there. So we're in the Edwardian Hotel in Manchester, which originally was the Lesser Free Trade Hall, which is home to gigs such as the original Sex Pistols gig in Manchester that kickstarted the Manchester music revolution. It's pretty cool. Very, very cool venue. We're with our Evolve peer group members as they're coming together to challenge each other, to support one another, and to help grow their careers and their businesses. It's great.
So for people that don't know what Evolve is, can you just give it a 10-second snippet?
Yeah, absolutely. Evolve is our peer group program. So think being in a room every quarter with your peers in the industry, be they business owners, service leaders, sales leaders, cybersecurity leaders, people who understand the pressures that you're under. They understand how to unlock success for you. They've been there, they walk the walk, they talk the talk, and they can help you grow and succeed. It's an amazing community. It's a privilege to be part of it.
Nice. All right, good. So I'm actually a fan of Evolve. I was never an MSP that was in Evolve. I worked with MSPs that were part of Evolve, and I worked with vendors that are part of Evolve. It's a very good partnership, togetherness, which I love. But we're not going to get too far into that because we're not here to talk about Evolve.
All right, one.
IT Nation Europe. So And you have Mick Jagger, I have Betty White, so I brought my American hero, and you have the British hero. So
absolutely. But the headline is "We are back."
We are back.
IT
It is.
Nation Connect Europe. Can't wait.
So okay. So you're a huge part of this. You're a huge part of the last time we did this here. How do you feel? And I don't want to get too far into this, but do you feel there's a difference between the way it was and the way it is coming up now? Do you see it being a bigger event this year for us?
Well, here's the headline. We're a brilliant hotel venue in 2023, but the headline was we outgrew it. We were annoying the hotel at a rate of knots by pushing people in that probably over our numbers somewhere. We got told off a few times. So
Nice.
We've had to go up. We've gone bigger. We've gone better. And that's really going to be the theme of this year's conference. The feedback on 2023 was amazing. Again, I still getting people talking to me about our keynote speaker in 23 with Lee Cockrell, former EVP of the Walt Disney Company, and the lessons that Lee brought to the audience. But as I said, building it bigger, building it better. We've outgrown the venue. It's always a good start, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. And not to throw any pressure, but IT Nation APAC was a huge success. I'm just throwing out there to all the people.
Sean, as you well know, there's absolutely no tension and competitiveness at all between the Australians, the British, and the Europeans. It's a harmonious relationship. We don't, we don't like go to war with each other on a cricket pitch every year. But yeah, we're going to do it better than the Aussies. Definitely going to do it better. Just put it out.
I mean, okay, better. That's okay. So I think it's important that all of EMEA is on notice now to beat APAC, as far as I'm concerned.
Absolutely. We're reclaiming the conference ashes, if you know what I mean. It's the cricketing parlance is being moved into community events, definitely.
Okay, we're going to see what happens there because, for me, I represent the granddaddy of all shows, so it doesn't matter. Like, we're just watching, you're like little brothers to us. We're excited to see you grow. Can't wait till you guys graduate.
It's all about the quality. It's not necessarily about the quantity.
I've heard that before from unhappy relationships. Anyway, so let's talk about a few things here. Let's get into the agenda itself, right?
Yep.
It's already gone live for a part of the agenda we have, right? And some of the talk and the speakers and whatnot. But I'm curious, and when looking at the agenda, what's the highlights that we want to talk about here? What should people pay attention to?
Yeah, absolutely. So let's start with our talk tracks, with our content tracks for the event, because that's going to give you the headlines of where we're going to be framing our speakers. As you see more agenda updates coming out over the course of the next couple of months, you will see that starting to fill out. So as we can see there, by the way, huge thank you, everybody. Behind the scenes, we have the wonderful Simon Escobar, who is helping Sean and I to run the production on this. You couldn't do it without people like Simon. Thank you. Because I definitely couldn't from being on a laptop at an event. So as you can see there, first up, I'm going to highlight MSP, operational maturity, and M&A. M&A being specifically there because we want people to know it's going to be covered. And operational maturity, how you do what you do. How can we make you better? How can we help your business to improve, to level up, to learn what good looks like, see where you currently are, and learn how you get to that next level? That is really going to be an amazing track. So if you're a business owner, leader, director, senior leader within a business, that is the track for you when you want to learn about what comes next for your business. Then moving through, of course, sales and marketing. How can we fuel a commercial engine within your business? How can we make 2025 and beyond years of exponential growth, where you're going to learn not only how to grow consistently, but crucially how to grow profitably. Then into service delivery, client success, and operations. Client success, by the way, was something that we added in. We saw it was a different role profile in 23 of people who were registering for the first time. You see that success function creeping in, of professionals who are within MSPs who aren't just looking from an account management or commercial perspective or from a support perspective, but how do we enable you? How do we enable you to make the most of technology and the services that you have from us? So again, we're catering there. But this is all about, as my American friends would say, when the rubber hits the road, how are we executing? How can we learn as a community of operations, service delivery, and success professionals, how to better enable and serve our clients? And then, of course, underpinned, Manu Ravello, our Chief Executive Officer, said at IT Nation Connect in November in Orlando, cybersecurity underpins all of our other industry disruptors, because, of course, without cybersecurity, it's not going to go well, is it? So how can we bring together cybersecurity, but also AI? Because, of course, security in the world of AI means that not only do we have the tools to better defend against threats, but people have the tools to better create those threats. So again, how as a community of security professionals can we come together to learn from each other, to grow our skill sets, to bring in industry experts who can teach us, but also raise the level as a community. So that would be my first highlight. There would be our talk tracks for the event.
I like the talk tracks. You know what? The funny thing though is that as you're talking through this all, I feel like everything falls under the MSP operational maturity. Because
yeah, I agree.
think the hardest defining piece, whether you're talking about sales and marketing or I'm just seeing, you know what, Simon, can you please pull up the comment from Henry because Dan will be very excited. Yeah. If anybody knows anybody from this horrible alcohol creator, we would like to look to see if they would like to sponsor IT Nation Europe. They could be the official sponsor, kind of like Red Bull. It doesn't have wings though. It's horrible, but yes.
Champagne of pain.
It's horrible. So let's go back to, I feel like everything under this really requires the operational maturity level, what they are, whether it's sales and marketing, cybersecurity, AI, service delivery, because it's an owner-led business or it's a larger business. The processes behind it are important. So I'm curious, just for the hot topic of all this, though, I think everybody talks about AI. How does it even? What do we look? Do you know what we're looking to see here when it comes to cybersecurity and AI?
Yeah, I'll tell you exactly, because I'll tell you the brief that I've given to the speakers who we're going to be unveiling over the course of the next couple of months. I'd love to now, by the way, but there's a sort of proverbial like weapon being pointed at me off camera. There isn't, but there should be of like, do not say these things. So I've got to mind my, I'll behave.
It's 6 a.m. here. You can say what you want. We're fine. Don't worry. Nobody's watching.
No one's up yet. Here's my guidelines. Make it actionable. I don't know about you, Sean, but I'm getting a little bit fed up of ethereal talk.
Oh yes.
AI. Like, what can I do? What could I do tomorrow? What could I do next week? What could I do next month? How can I grow into developing my AI practice within my business, both from a cybersecurity perspective, but also from an operational perspective? You know, how can I actually get started rather than just talking about LLMs and GPT 4.0s and all that kind of stuff? You know, how is it I can actually use this to help either provide better services to my clients, to build a business practice that we could market and we could create revenue and profit from to our clients? How can I actually get going on this stuff rather than just talking about the mechanics of, certain brands of GPT models?
Well, like you said, theoretically speaking, that's what a lot of it is in theory. But in theory, there's going to be the Terminator too. So, I mean, I'm excited about that. It should be cool to watch. But
hopefully not from the 10th to the 12th of March. That's all. I deal with train strikes. I deal with COVID. I deal with all sorts of stuff I could do without Skynet. I'm just putting that out there.
Well, again, if I end up being over at IT Nation Europe, just so we're clear, 3 days after the event ends is my birthday. So Skynet will be in the house. But anyway,
that's where that bottle of Malort's coming in. That's for sure.
We're never doing that. I said my birthday, not my end days. All right. So if anybody is this a known drink at all anywhere over in Europe?
No. For those in London who are in the know, I've already emailed Jerry's Wine and Spirits. So we all know Jerry's Wine and Spirits. If anyone in the UK is going to have a bottle of it, it's going to be Jerry's. And they replied with, no, it tastes awful.
It does taste awful. And nobody can talk about what the flavor is. If anybody asks what it tastes like, it's a different response from every person. It's amazing. It's amazing. You're right. It is the talk tracks do look good. I do love this. It's a very balanced talk track lineup. I think that when you go to a conference, you should be able to appeal to every element of an employee in an MSP or any business for that matter. So I do appreciate that. And I do think I can imagine service delivery people should probably look at sales and marketing tracks as well. Understand
the world, understand how you can help guide and how you can impact that side of your business. Because unless it's like two engines of a plane. If they're not both working at the same time, it's not going to be a fun flight, is it? So it's, absolutely. And again, like to people thinking of coming, an insider tip from me would be as a business owner or a leader within an MSP, don't come alone, because you know what's going to happen. You're going to be in a management meeting about a week later. Someone's going to say, right, you were at IT Nation Connect Europe last week. So tell us all about it. And then you've got to convey all the ideas that you've had, all the thoughts you've had, the people you've met, the solutions that you found that you think are going to make a real impact to the business. But you want to bring people along. You want people to have advocacy within the room for what it is that you're doing. It's really important.
Absolutely. And now that we talked about talk tracks, any specific agenda sneak peeks we should think about? Anything excites you out of this?
Yeah, actually, I can share a few sessions that I think, and a few speakers I'm going to kick off with, actually, rather than getting into the nitty gritty of their sessions. It's on the website. Everyone can go and have a look. But let me make a few highlights of speakers that I'm really, really excited to bring to the community. And by the way, it's all about value to the community. Our job for 3 days is to make sure that every single person who joins us makes it was the best investment of their time that they could make. None of us have enough time. None of us. I don't care which role you're in. If you're watching this, anyone in the channel, that's the one thing none of us have got enough of. Our job is to make everybody leave and thinking that was the best use of my time. And our speakers are the ones that make that magic happen. They bring it to life. So shall I rattle off a couple of highlights for you?
Yes, I would like to know. Yeah, absolutely. Just rattle them off as quick as possible in your best British accent.
Queen's English.
Whatever it's called.
First up, the one and only Sydney Hockett, VP at Evergreen Services Group. So Sydney is an industry leader for M&A. What Sydney doesn't know isn't worth knowing. If I knew the bits that she'd forgotten, then I would be, I could also be a market leader in M&A. So I'm really excited that Sydney's going to be coming to talk to us about her experiences in the UK and European M&A market over the past about 12 to 18 months. It's going to be an amazing session. And a little bit about how other people see value in the businesses that we know. You know, when you're too close to a problem, you can't see it, or you're too close to an opportunity, sometimes you can't see it. So that perspective from someone who now knows the market inside and out and absolutely is on top of all the trends, giving Sydney's perspective, really, really looking forward to it. I'm very thankful to her for taking part in the event. Another one I'd like to highlight is Hannah Lloyd. Hannah is the co-founder at INSOC, and she's also the chair emeritus of the CompTIA UK and I community. I was privileged to be Hannah's vice chair of that community for 2 years. What Hannah, again, doesn't know about cybersecurity sales and growth through the channel isn't worth knowing. Theme here, there's a theme in all of them. And Hannah's going to be coming to talk to us about how to we've all heard how to sell cyber, haven't we? Come on, we've all been there. We've all been in sessions. Hannah's coming to talk to us about, right, we've been there. I've walked the walk. I've been with partners in the room for sales opportunities. Let's talk about how we do it. Let's talk about how you can really, really operationalize your cybersecurity sales. So I'm very, very thankful to Hannah for coming along. Two more I'll highlight. We have, I got
to jump in real quick here. I remember Hannah. I met Hannah when she was at EMEA, and she was like literally brand new to it all. Yes, that makes me feel old, by the way, Dan. Like really, like actually, my knee just started hurting from saying that. Yeah, I remember meeting Hannah, and I met her in person at DattoCon in Denver. That's how long ago that was. And yeah, she's definitely a force to be reckoned with. She's done a lot in years.
She is. Yeah, She is genuine, a true channel leader, and great to be able to highlight the amazing things that she does and to share, and for her to give back to the community. I'm very thankful for her for doing so. So I'm going to throw two more. Everyone's on the website, so please, everyone, go and have a look. You know, we're not sharing anything here that isn't there for you to look at in this section. We may a bit later on. Next up, of course, the one and only Mr. Peter Gajawa, VP of Service Leadership, and total rock star when it comes to the data that you need to make calculated decisions, not the feeling, not we think you should do this because we're experts, you should invest over here because we know our stuff. Let me back that up with data. Let me show you what's coming out of the global benchmarking from service leadership. Let's talk about operational maturity level, OML. The service leadership own the trademark on, they created. Let's talk about how you can grow your business and also what good looks like and how we're going to get you from where you are today to where you're going to be. So very, very excited to welcome Peter. And last up, Mr. Nicholas Ashford. Nicholas is a partner at Ford House, an investment company, who has a very, very successful recent history in the MSP space and is familiar to many people there. And again, looking at ways that our speakers can bring value from their unique perspective, from their career history, and from all the amazing experiences that they have that they can share with the audience. So what we're going to be talking about is value creation within a business. Now, Sean, you and I know not every pound of revenue is created equally. And there are some that where every buck of revenue is going to be created equally. There is revenue that we can chase that is going to yield us as shareholders and as businesses that's far more valuable. And Nicholas is going to be coming to share, again, from his experience of buying and selling lots and lots of businesses of, let me show you some ways that I can really disappoint people, sadly, when I look at their revenue and their P&L, and they think they have more than they do. So really, really looking forward to that session. It's going to be great.
First, I appreciate that you translated from pound to buck for me. Thank you, because I didn't know what a pound. I was like, pound. I gained 4 over Thanksgiving. So yeah, no, thank you for that at the end. But you know what? Yeah, I love the tie-in for all this is you go back to talking about the pounds per actual what it's worth, especially for people looking for a successful exit, right? And Peter Kajawa actually talks about the whole EBITDA piece and the operational maturity piece. Operational maturity leads to better cost savings, leads to better contract value, leads to better exit, right? And then to hear somebody else talk about how to go about it. So you're basically laying the framework when you talk service leadership, right? That's the framework of what good looks like, right? And I know that we put out a number at one point saying that if you were a break fix company doing $1 million a year or £1 million a year, that you would look at an exit of 500,000, right? So literally you're cut in half on an exit when you sell. Whereas if you're doing managed contracts at $1 million, you're looking at a 1.5 million exit. So, and that's obviously a simple, very crude way of talking about numbers, because there's obviously a lot of factors involved, and you could, and that number could go way higher or way lower based off whatever you have going on. But the fact is, it kind of shows you that if you can put yourself in a contract revenue space, the value of how to sell, that's really the promised land for you.
As Arlen Sorensen says so well, because Arlen can take very complicated concepts and sum it up very briefly, which I appreciate him for. There is no value, Sean, in sweat equity. The hard work does not necessarily, I'm afraid, translate. And that's the sad moral of the story, that we can get the community ahead of the game.
Sweat equity is just for your kickstart, just to get you rolling. That's it. When you don't have enough money to start it, but you have yourself, that's the start up. But you're not selling your business on day one. You're selling yourself on day one.
Yeah. But one day, and by the way, when people are watching this and thinking, I have no intention of selling my business, I have absolutely no intention. One day, again, I'll quote an Arlenism, everybody will transition their business, whether you do it horizontally or vertically. We want to help you build it for the day that decision comes. It doesn't matter whether it's in 12 months, 24 months, or 20 years. It doesn't matter. It's not.
Absolutely. So. Well, and it's not even just about selling your business either. Even if you're not looking to sell a business, that's fine. You're looking to run a very good business. And most entrepreneurs start their own business because they want to create change in their life. And a lot of it, and one of the number one reasons why is they want more independence. And if they don't become more mature operationally, they end up with less independence because they're busy working. They're chasing their tail, and that's what happens. So it doesn't matter whether you're trying to sell or not sell is irrelevant. You're still trying to run a good business. And plus, if you have employees, you owe it to them. Now, not to get too far off track, because I'll go down that. I'll get myself all day about that. So there is a mystery session that's not on this, that's not been announced yet. I'm just curious what it is.
I told you, I'm terrible. I say to partners all the time, I don't know what's in the product roadmaps and stuff, because they won't tell me, because then I tell everyone, if you know what I mean. So they just stop telling me. That was the thing. They're just like, no.
So we don't know yet. We just know it's a really big deal. So it's a really big deal.
Yeah, we have let's just say, signing the Official Secrets Act might have been involved in bringing them in. But it's, we have some very big sessions to announce. Again, it's just all about value. That's the only lens. There are multiple tracks and personas and things we look at, but the first lens that we apply when we're looking at what we're going to put on the agenda is really simple. It's the time commitment that people make to be with us, and the value that they deserve to come from the back of it. And yeah, we do. We've got a really big session on the clue I'll give it. It's a cybersecurity session, and it's something that impacts us all. Some people who will make decisions that will impact all of us. So
absolutely, that's awesome. All right, well, I'm excited. All right, so I know you have to go back to work. I have to start work, even though I don't know if I can call this work. This is actually really fun. We can do this all day long. Just talk about absolutely nothing important after this too.
Assuming they don't remove the ability for us to do this, which they might well do after this one. Let's face it.
They might. I mean, well, I know some people.
I'm just looking forward to the AI transcript, trying to get its head around my lord. That's gonna be fun.
All it's going to get is the champagne and pain. It's all it's going to get for that. So again, for those watching, we are going to do, this is a series that's going to take place all up till the week prior to the actual live event. Our next live stream will be on December 17th. Again, 6 a.m. for me, 11 a.m. for Dan. So he'll be way better off than me at that moment. We are offering early bird pricing for that weird thing in front of the 199, whatever that means. I translated somewhere. I don't know what it means. Looks really cool, that squiggly line. I love being a dumb American. It's amazing. But yeah, early bird pricing is taking place right now, and it's February 14th. So make sure you take advantage of it. I think I'm going to end up being there. And if I'm there, I expect to see
We're in trouble.
Yeah. I mean, it's me and Betty are coming. Like, me and Betty are coming. So it should be a good time. Is there any other parting words that we should discuss, Dan, before we hop off?
Yeah. I want to give everyone a top tip for doing this, because again, there are certain things that unfortunately we always hear about, like after the event. I don't mean after the conference. I mean after we can do something about them. And so everyone watching, I have an opportunity to help you, because I will really struggle to help you probably in a couple of weeks. And that being, we have a pre-day session. It will sell out. We have lots of pre-day sessions, but there is one I want to highlight, and it will sell out. And when it sells out, what happens is people email me or they DM me on LinkedIn and they say, I can't register for it. It says it's full. Could you sneak me in? And I can't. So there's one I want to make people aware of, and it is MSP Foundations. So when you register for the conference, we have a number of pre-days. That MSP Foundations track is led by none other than Mr. Brad Scow, familiar to many, and the author and the creator of a number of the concepts that we use both within the Evolve community, but also you hear in our conference talk tracks and our webinars and our blueprint documents that we write. So what Brad's going to be doing is he's summed all of his content up, and the key concepts, we're going to do like a 101 level of, when you hear someone talking about an acronym and things and you kind of nod because you think, I don't know whether I should ask it what that means, because I don't know whether I'm afraid to ask. If you've ever had that, that's what we're going to be covering in MSP Foundation. So when we talk about things like entrepreneurial journey, like modes, OML that you and I have spoken about today, operational maturity level, Brad's going to be unpacking that, all those concepts in the talk track that we call in the pre-day, we call MSP Foundations. Get signed up and get registered, because I guarantee it won't last. It just won't. And then I get DMs and saying, oh, get me in. They won't let me. So
you're saying people slide into your DMs?
You may say that. I couldn't possibly comment.
I mean, that's what you just said. You just actually said it. So yeah.
Oh, there you go.
You actually said that. And well, maybe my translation's off from Queen's English.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But it sounded just like you said exactly that without saying slide.
I think it could be. I think you got a cultural translation going on there. I think.
You're welcome. I'll be here all day. I'm bilingual. So absolutely. So I love that foundational piece. I think it's important. My man, Richard, honestly, you're the man. I look forward to seeing you there, dude. I'm getting there one way or the other. If I have to start a GoFundMe, then I'll start a GoFundMe. That's fine. I don't care. I'm not above that at this point in my life. Okay, Dan, thank you so much for this. We're going to hop off your time back. You got to go back to work. I got to get ready for my stuff. Actually, I have to go to the gym. So I got to stay young. My knee hurts because of the Hannah Lloyd conversation. So I have to go to the gym. All right. So everybody watch, thank you for tuning in. I'm looking forward to the Champagne of Pain coming in the near future. Coming to an EMEA event near you. That's going to be better than the APAC event, from Dan Scott's words. If you have any questions, you can just slide right into Dan's DMs and ask him questions right there. He's happy to answer. But otherwise, until then, all guys, I will see you on the 17th again, man.
See you soon, everyone. Thank you.